Hello, beaders. Welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry. Today, I am really excited because we are going to be unboxing the February edition of Curated Bead Box. And this is Ancient Treasure. But you guys, look at how pretty these colors are. I mean, this really pretty brown, bronzish color. We have some gold, teal. I mean, I'm really excited for this. So I say, let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. And also stick around to see what I designed from the contents of this box. Ancient Treasure, Curated Bead Box, February 2026. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, I am really excited. Let me go ahead and get everything organized, and we will reveal everything from this box. I have everything organized, and I am really excited to reveal this month's box because it is just very, very pretty, in my opinion. So first we have 12 millimeter aqua solid color glass bead, 8-inch string. And look at this. Aqua beads. It's very pretty. It's a nice, I'm sorry, I said 12 millimeter. It's a 12 millimeter, 8-inch string. Very pretty color. And I love bigger beads like this too. So I do appreciate larger beads. I think this is very pretty. I love this color. Next we have 10 millimeter copper glass pearl bead, 8-inch string. So we have some copper pearls. Very pretty. I mean, definitely a, pearl-like finish. So very nice. Really like these. Very pretty. And these two look really nice together. Next we have 10 millimeter dark brown crackle glass bead, 8-inch string. But look at these. These are so pretty. I mean, that's like an amber color. Very pretty because we have, this gold, reddish color. Very pretty. Really like these. And this looks very pretty together. Definitely ancient treasure vibe. Very nice. Next we have 8 millimeter jasper gemstone bead, 7-inch string. And these are very pretty. I mean, these are jasper. So we have a beige, we have greenish, we have a pinkish color. Even a little bit of golden in there. Super pretty. 8 millimeter beads. Very nice. Next we have 10 millimeter turquoise red swirl marble style glass bead. And this one started coming off the strand, so I had to kind of finagle it a little bit. But look at how pretty these are. Very pretty blue and red. Super pretty. Look at that, the swirls of the red. I mean, just a pretty bead itself because it has just lots of swirls of color. Very nice. Next we have 8 by 6 millimeter khaki rondelle gemstone style glass bead, 7.5-inch string. And look at these. That color is just gorgeous. We have the green with a little bit of brownish yellow. Very pretty. And I really like the shape of this bead, this rondelle. Very nice. Very pretty. And definitely ancient treasure. Next we have 8mm apple green copper drizzle glass bead 10.5-inch string. Now this is really pretty, a very nice green. We have apple green, we have yellow, but I do think that these are not 8mm. I mean, these are pretty, I'm pretty sure are 6mm because these are 8mm. So no, these here are 8mm. So this is a 6mm. So they just mislabeled it on the box. But a very, very pretty bead. Very pretty. Like the color. I think this collection looks very pretty together. Next we have approximate 1 ounce antique designer glass bead mix. And this is one of my favorite parts of Curated Bead Box because they always have a really nice bead mix. And look at this. Look at these colors here. Super pretty with the brown, the yellow, the green, gold. Very ancient treasure-like. Very pretty. Really like these colors together. And it looks very pretty with this collection. Let's see, we have a nice sized bag full. Next we have 8x6mm gold metal rectangle spacer beads, approximate 15 beads. So look at these, very ancient treasure-like. I mean, that's very cool. Very pretty spacers. I really like the shape and the look of these. Very pretty. Next we have 6mm gold metal bead caps. And I didn't realize these were bead caps. I thought they were like a daisy spacer, which I guess you can use that as well, because they're very small. So I don't know how you can use these as a bead cap because all these beads are pretty big. So the only thing you could really use for a bead cap would be these 6mm. So very nice bead caps. And I like to have bead caps included because you can use these for any project. And then next we have a 66mm heart patina metal pendant. And wait until you see this. This is very pretty. Look at that. That is really nice. It's very large. I mean, look at the bail. This is a very ancient treasure kind of a pendant. That is very pretty. I really like the color of it. And that's the back. Very nice. I really do like this collection. I think it's very pretty. I love these colors together. And then last we have 90x70mm pillow gift box, 3 boxes. So I guess this was something extra they included. So we have 3 nice little gift boxes here. Very cute. Very nice little gift. Okay, you guys, well, that is everything in the February 2026 Curated Bead Box Ancient Treasure. And I really, really like this collection. Like I said, the beads are just very pretty and everything pairs together very nice. So I am going to come up with a design, but I'm pretty sure that I want to use this pendant because I just absolutely love that. So stick around. And then also, if you are not familiar with Curated Bead Box, it is a monthly subscription box. It is $19.99 a month, and which includes the shipping. And then you get everything that you see here. So there, I mean, not this specific collection. Obviously, there it's a different theme every single month. So you get a lot of bead strands. You often get the bead mix, you get pendants, you get charms, and then, extra stuff like the bead caps and little spacers. But yeah, so for $20, it's an excellent start to, especially if you are new to beading. Oh, and also, I did forget to tell you, this is the findings kit. So every month you will get a findings kit, either in gold or silver, which includes, I'm not going to take everything out, but it does include memory wire, stretch cord, ear wire, crimp tubes, jump rings, head pins, and lobster clasp. So it's everything you need to get started right out of the box. So like I said, if you are new to jewelry making, it is especially helpful. So I encourage you to check out Curated Bead Box, and you could use my code Jerry35, that's Jeri 35 for 35% off your first month's box. So give it a try and see if it is right for you. Okay, beaders, we are going to make a necklace, and we are going to use the very pretty pendant that came in the Curated Bead Box. And then also you will need 0.5 millimeter waxed cord. So the necklace, we are going to make some knots. Okay, and then I do have some bead stoppers, and then I have some clamshells. So you will need some clamshells. I have some gold jump rings, and actually no jump rings came in my Curated Bead Box this month. Normally there's always jump rings, but somehow I got 2 packs of lobster clasp and no jump rings. So that's okay, because as you see, I have my own, so it's not a big deal for me. And then you will need a ruler, a pair of scissors, and then I do have long nose pliers or needle nose pliers. I have round nose pliers. You will need bent nose pliers and flush cutters. Grab some bead stoppers, and I think that's about it. And if I need anything else, then I will let you know. Okay, so I'm going to take my cord, and I'm going to use this brown one down here. Or do I want to use the darker? Yeah, we'll use this one. And we're going to cut 3 strands. And I'm going to say cut them 30 inches. Because, like I said, we're going to make some knots. And we are making a triple strand knotted necklace. Okay, so I'm going to cut 30 inches of each of my cords. We have 12, 24, now 30 inches may be too much, but I would rather have too much than not enough. And like I said, since we are going to make some knots in our necklace. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that with 3 pieces of cord. Okay, I have each of my 3 cords cut, and I am going to go ahead and just give it a little tug. It is not stretchy, but it does have a little bit of a give, especially when we tie knots. And it is sticky, just letting you know, because it's waxed. So your hands will get a little sticky. Okay. Now I want to use mainly these smaller beads, but obviously we're not going to have enough of these beads to make 3 full strands. So I'm going to incorporate some of the larger beads throughout the necklace as well. Okay, and I'm going to take my 3 cords together and then make sure they're even at each end. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my pendant on. So all 3 cords are going to go through the pendant. And then I'm going to take it to the center of my cords. Okay, I have my pendant in the center, which, I mean, we still have time to fix it if it's not center. As we, go, it might get messed up, and that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and string on both sides on all 3 cords. Well, see, and it's already getting messed up, so that's okay. And I'm just going to take my beads randomly and string, so no particular way, and make your cord into a point. Since this is wax cord, it will easily form into a point, and that'll help string the beads easier. And I'm also going to use some of the larger beads throughout as well, because these beads, I mean, that's not going to be enough, obviously, to string 3 necklaces. So I'm just going to use some of the larger beads, but the larger beads are just going to be placed just sporadically throughout the necklace. So this is not going to have any, specific pattern, rhyme, or reason. I mean, basically just whatever bead I pick up is what I'm going to string on my necklace, which is, pretty much how I like to do things. If you guys have seen my recent videos, I just like randomly stringing things in no particular way. And that is my style, how I like to do things. Of course, you could do it how you like. I'm just giving you the inspiration and just giving you ideas on how to use this bead box. Okay, and I'm just going to continue doing this on both sides. So I'm just going to speed you up a little bit. And then I'm also going to use some of these gold spacers as well. And I may even use, yeah, some of these bead caps. I mean, why not? Okay, this bead must have a smaller hole. So if you need to get your bead on easier, you could cut your cord at a slight angle. Well, that didn't work good, did it? There. And then go ahead and form it into your point again. And then hopefully this bead will go on now. There we go. Okay, this is what we have so far. Really pretty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a large bead on one of my cords. Like I said, I'm just going to place the large beads just kind of sporadically throughout. And now I'm going to go ahead and form a knot right here. So on this cord where I put the large bead, so you're going to take your cord around your fingers like that, cross over the cord, pull your fingers out, pull the cord through the loop, and then I'm taking my knotting tweezers and placing it inside the loop on top of the bead. And pulling it down. And then go ahead and pull your cord tight. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make a knot right here. So basically where I put a larger bead, then I make a knot. So that's how I'm doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and finish stringing the beads in the same fashion that I've been doing. And I will come back when I'm almost done and show you guys, and we will finish it off. Okay guys, so I finished stringing the necklace and this is how it looks. I think it looks very nice. Each strand measures 16 inches long. So 3 strands, 16 inches. And of course it's going to hang a little bit lower, you know, with the pendant. And then to finish it off, I tied a knot at each end. So just how we've been tying the knots. So you just, you know, take it. This one was already tied, but just to show you, and it is good to double tie the last knots anyway to make sure that it is secure. Okay, so that's what I did for each end. And I'm just going to go through and double tie on each end to make sure that it's secure since this is our last bead. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do that with each end. So make sure there's 2 knots after your last beads. And then I'm going to take my glue and brush it on each knot at the end. to make sure that it stays secure. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. And to finish it off, after you double tied each end and put some glue, you're going to put a clamshell. So I have gold clamshells. And then open that up as wide as it can go. And then you're going to stick your cord through the clamshell. And then take that down to that knot. And now we're going to put another knot. I'm going to use my tweezers to make sure that the knot goes right inside the clamshell. Push the knot down. And make sure you have bend in your necklace, because if not, then it can make the necklace tight and then not want to bend. So make sure you already have bend in the necklace, so then there's movement. Right, make sure that's nice and tight. And then, I'm going to take a little bit of glue, brush it all over the knot and inside the clamshell. And then this is going to help, make sure that it is nice and secure. And then I'm just going to cut my end. So just cut right above the knot. Make sure I don't cut that knot. And then I'm just going to take a lighter right to the top of that. And that's just going to seal this edge a little better. So now it's nice and tight. And then close this up. And then I'm going to take a jump ring. So this is a smaller size. This is the pack of jump rings that I'm using, which I got from Walmart. And it's this size right here. So that would be 5mm. So I'm going to use 6 5mm jump rings to attach to each of my ends. So after you attach your clamshell, and this is how you open and close a jump ring. So just like that, you want to go up and down, not out like this. And then attach the jump ring to both edges, both little loops on the clamshell. And then make sure you close it up good. Okay, and that's all that you need to do. And I'm going to go ahead and finish off. I already did this side, so I already put the clamshells and the jump rings on this end. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish the last two. Okay, so now I have my lobster clasp on each of my ends. And I'm going to take 10mm jump rings And I'm going to place it on each end. I'm going to attach each of my jump rings to the large jump ring. Oops. And then I'm going to attach my lobster clasp. And now you can close this up. Make sure it's flush with the other side. And I'm going to attach a jump ring to the other side, but I'm not attaching a lobster clasp. I'm actually going to attach an extension chain, but we're going to make one out of jump rings. Because I do have some chain around here somewhere that I actually recently bought from Hobby Lobby, but I'm not sure where it is. So we're just going to make a chain for now. Okay, and then we can go ahead and close those up. Ooh, it looks really pretty. And I don't care if it's, you know, messy and whatever, if the bands cross around and whatever. I mean, you could do it how you want to, but I like it like that, so it just lays how it lays. I like it just kind of, you know, the messy look. That looks really good. I really like how this came out. All right, we are going to add a piece of extension chain to this end here. So I'm just going to use, let's use, this is a 6mm jump rings. I'm just going to use a few of these to make a little chain. So I'm going to open one jump ring and attach two. So attach two jump rings just like that. Close that up. See, so now we have 3 links, and then we're going to go ahead and add 2 more. Well, so open one jump ring and add 2. Now I'm going to attach the end of this to the end of one of the links here. And close this up. See, so now you have a little chain. Okay, I see this jump ring is opened a little bit. So that's one of the most important things, is to make sure your jump rings are totally closed. Okay, now I'm going to add my chain to the side with just a jump ring. Close this one a little better. Okay, so here's the extension chain. See, I just attached it to the large jump ring here. So it looks like that. This looks so pretty. I really like how this turned out. And I think what I'm going to do, because you know I like to be a little extra, is maybe I made a couple little charms, and I'll show you how to make these. But I think I might attach these, maybe just kind of dangle them, because you know there's not enough beads. I mean, why not add a little bit more? And the necklace, there's really not going to be a bottom strand, because I'm just going to put it around my neck, and just how it falls is how it's going to be. So I may, yeah, so I may just add a couple of these. I'm going to add these and see how it looks. Okay, so I added a couple little charm dangles just throughout the necklace. I just added 3 so far. So I'm just kind of placing them just throughout, just wherever, no particular way. Just not putting, you know, too close together. Okay, and I do like how it looks. I mean, it just adds a little bit of extraness. And if you don't want to add these, then of course you don't have to. All right, let me show you what I do to make these. So I'm just taking whatever kind of beads I want to use here. See, so like I just have a couple, you know, with the smaller little charms. I mean the beads. Or I have just like one like this. And the other one is like this. So of course you could add as many little beads to one head pin, or, you know, just however you want to do. So just a random thing, you know. So I'm going to take my bead and place it on my head pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and place it right on top of that top bead. Bend the wire toward me. Make sure you have a good grip on your pliers. Bend the top around that top ring. And then I'm going to reposition. So I'm taking my round nose pliers out and placing the loop that we made on the bottom ring. And then I'm going to, now make sure you hold it tight, bend the wire around like that, and then just loop it around. And I'm not looking for a neat wrap. This is a boho necklace, and look at this necklace. I mean, it's not really, you know, neat. It's just a boho kind of a vibe, so that's how I'm doing that. And then I'm going to cut my wire. Cut the edge of the wire. Don't cut the wire, cut the edge of your wire. And then I'm taking pliers and pushing that edge. Gonna push the edge down. And I kind of made my wrap a little funky when I did that, but like I said, that's okay with me. Just as long as there's no sharp edges. Okay, and I'm gonna do a couple more. Okay, so I made a few charms, and I'm just going to go ahead and place them throughout my necklace, just to dangle. And I may use all these, I may not. I'm just going to see as I go and see how it looks and, you know, determine how many I want to add. So I'm just going to place a charm on my jump ring. And decide where I want to place it on my necklace. And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. So it's just, you know, wherever you want to put it. There we go. And close it up. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do that and place these randomly throughout. And then I will come back and show you. And then I will also insert a picture of the completed necklace around my neck so you can see exactly how it looks, you know, around the neck, how it flows, how the dangles lay, and how low the necklace is on my neck. And of course, you can make your necklace longer or shorter, you know, according to your liking. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, guys, well, here is our messy boho necklace using Curated Bead Box for the month of February, Ancient Treasure. And I am really happy with how this turned out. It actually turned out pretty much on how I envisioned it, you know, in my head, how I wanted to design it. So, yeah, I really like it. And I did go ahead and add two of the little dangles on each string. So I just placed them randomly throughout, and you could add them, you could not, it, you know, it's all up to you, but I really like it. It just, you know, enhances the messy boho look. So I'm really happy with it. And yes, it is a lot of beads on here, but yeah, it is, it's just, like I said, it's just really how I pictured it to look. So I hope you guys will try and make this and show me a picture if you do. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.